races to go before we head into the lunch break, which seems really early on in the day, but still it is that midway point of the day. Well, the karts have made their way out onto the circuit for the next race, which will see Davide Bottaro and Timo Ramekers on the front row of the grid. Zach Drummond, who currently leads that intermediate classification with 2 wins to his name, starts it on the second row with Aston Sharp alongside. Zach Green and Marco Gars join them in the top 6 on row 3. Augustine Sepulveda and Toby Gale go from row 4. Hugo Marti and Mariano Lopez go from row 5. Roman Kamiab and Kenneth Fairhand round out row number 6. Row 7 we'll see Matej van der Kerkhoff, Simon Bulbarella, Kasper Reipold, Inge Rosted on row 8 with Victor Gustafsson and Luke Kornda on row number 9.
Keep an eye out for the drivers on row number 10, Kenzo Craigie, who made great progress yesterday. He will be starting alongside Zhao Zhizhen. From row number 11, we have Jorn Helder with Clovis Nugrade. Row number 12, we have Sebastian Mins with Aaron Garcia.
It's a cheeky smile for Sebastian.
Row number 13, Lillian Scarborough with Vanessa Schilkinator, and all female row number 13. And shortly behind on 14 is Daniel Picorni with Sonia B. 15 is Roberto Randuros, and we're supposed to have Devon Trafalov. We do believe he is missing from this grid. 16, Henrikas Klepikas with Christian Mosimund. From row number 17, we have Luna Flusha, who needs to fight up the order alongside Mathis Umer. Row number 18, your final row, and 35 karts rounding out this second senior heat of the day. Fred Sarax.
Indeed. Well, we've been flying through these races at this moment, and for Zach Drummond, this is a really big race. Can he keep that winning streak on from yesterday into today? Let's find out. Lights are out. We're racing down in towards turn number 1. It's a good start for Bottaro. Keep an eye on Ramekers. Around the outside, Drummond slots into second. That's a solid start as karts going off at the start of the race, cutting the chicane. But the rest of the field getting through nicely. At the beginning of it, Drummond immediately on the attack of the Glenomini. Davide Bottaro, the Italian, though, still leads the way on that CRG liveried machine as they all file in towards turn number 7. Zhao Zhizhen, though, is out of the race, and there he is joined by the number 52 machine off the circuit. Luke Kornda going no further in this race.
Well, it looked like Zach Drummond was right on the tail of the CRG out in the front in the first couple of corners, but now looks like it's just fallen back off of the bumper. Defensive driving to try and hold off the VDK of Thibaut Ramekers. Watch Ramekers in this race because he had a DNF in his final heat yesterday, caused by an incident with him and Aston Sharp. So he's going to be hunting positions within this one. And let's not forget, he has slightly fresher tyre, which he's just used some of on the entrance to turn 4 and 5 to get past the Scotsman of Drummond sat there in the Fusion. Zach Green getting closer and closer in that KR. For now, it is the CRG ahead of one of the KRs for VDK of Ramekers, another Kart Republic of Drummond, another Kart Republic of Zach Green there that rounds out your top 4. Early on investigations going for these drivers, and it's Clovis Nugrade that is being watched for potentially a starting infringement. Now then, this gap for the race lead, Davide Bottaro looked clear earlier on, looked like he had a little bit of room to run away with it from Ramekers, but now Ramekers on the entrance to turn number 1 is closing up massively to the driver sat there in the 25 kart. On the entrance to turn number 4, round 5, there's a textbook move. Just replicates what he did a lap ago to Drummond, and now Thibaut Ramekers makes himself the new race leader.
He does indeed, and like you were saying, after that DNF yesterday, has got the slightly fresher tyres. Drummond down the inside, now gets the move done on Bottaro, slots him down to 3rd place. Bottaro still hunting his first qualifying heat win so far this weekend with a P4 and a P2 yesterday. Was hoping for a P1 today at the front of the field. Unfortunately, that's not gone his way just yet, but we are only on lap number 4 of, lap number 3 of 13 at this moment in time. Down the inside, Aston Sharp on the drive through, gets past Zach Green, up into P4 now, hunting down the trio at the front. But Ramekers, I've got a feeling here, Nicole, is just going to drive away. Those fresher tyres after that DNF in the early stages of his race, last race yesterday, is going to put him in the really difficult to catch up now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thibaut Ramicus, though, is a smart driver. He's not going to try and push away too much. He's not going to overcook
Here is that move again.
tyre. That is a replay of what he just did for the race lead. Went in really well into the corner. Turn number 4 and 5. The drivers go really hard on the brakes. That is one of those corners where it is a bit of a bigger braking zone. This is turn number 7, which can catch some drivers out slightly. And Kenzo Craigie getting all involved. Craigie then, the progress so far for him. 8 positions gained, sits currently just outside the top 10. It's Augustin Sepulveda that he will be looking at next. Into turn number 1 then, that gap does not reduce for Craigie too much. He's absolutely on the charge. Going back maybe to that tyre conversation that we were just highlighting for Ramicus, Kenzo Craigie needs to manage that, needs to baby those Maxxis tyres, because with the amount of overtakes that he's having to do, he might end up chewing through the rubber a little bit too much. It's down the inside. Aston Sharp now goes. He gets himself into P3. And ladies and gentlemen at home, there's another driver like Ramicus, because of the incident that they had together yesterday at turn number 1. He's on fresher tyre as well.
Yeah, he is indeed, and good to see that Sharp is okay. He did get effectively run over by Ramicus. His car drove over the top of him through turn 1, but thankfully both drivers okay after that incident, and still racing here today. At this moment, Drummond still in a good spot there in P2. He has opened up a bit of a gap now from Sharp and Bottaro after that overtake, but like you were mentioning, Sharp and those fresher tyres might have the chance of closing in here as Ramicus sets the fastest lap of the race. 50.368 at the front of the field, is continuing to drive away the gap 1.2 seconds, and is opening at every single sector marker out on circuit. Drummond's got a big decision to make here. Is he going to fight for second place, or is he just going to let Sharp try and just go for the move if he closes in here? Because he knows he's on the fresher tyres. But, of course, if he finishes third, then he's going to really lose out to James Anagnosiadis. At the moment, they're joint on points, with Anagnosiadis having a P2 and 2 wins. At this moment, Drummond is looking at a P2 and 2 wins. If he goes to third, then he's on the back foot going into the next races later on the weekend.
Yeah, I would say he's probably not going to be trying to push too hard to catch up to Ramicus, because he's aware that Ramicus has got that DNF, but maybe we'll try a little bit harder to keep Sharp behind him. Both drivers then of Scotland, and both drivers who have grown up racing in Great Britain, I'd say know each other's driving styles pretty well. As now down the inside, Luna Flusha starting to get all involved for P15. She has just overtaken Great Britain Sebastian Min, sat there in that victory lane, who also now loses out to another driver. I think that's one of the Paralins getting past, one of the Ricky Flynns trying to challenge as well. Lillian Scarborough, I think that is on the screen, trying to wrestle her way past Mins, but doesn't manage to pull it off just yet. There we go then. Davide Bottaro now under threat by Aston Sharp. These two drivers going bumper to bumper, have challenged, swapped and changed a couple of times, but they are settled. They are giving each other that racing room for the time being. Zach Green still very much within this fight as well. So you're going to have a look. Yes, he is down the inside of Aston Sharp now at turn number 7. Thought that maybe Sharp would have that bit of tyre advantage after that DNF yesterday, but it could be the case that he's overcooked it slightly in the early stages. Stress on those tyres, especially through turns 1, 2 and 3, and turn number 11 as well, where the temperature really peaks. It can be misleading to the eye. There is a lot of pressure on that Maxxis tyres, and that's maybe points in the circuit that Aston might have gone too heavy, and that's why he's now fallen slightly further down once more. Will Green though, Zach Green, Will Green is his brother competing in juniors. Zach Green is looking very strong this weekend, has joined Kart Republic, was previously part of the DPK camp, competed in the World Championships last year at PFI and had a good result in the junior class. Looks very strong in the seniors as well.
Yeah, certainly so. Keep an eye on that progression. Kenzo Craigie, now fastest driver out there. He's on a 10th-place gain. He's not doing as well on gaining as he is with fellow Prema Racing driver teammate Luna Flusha, though. 18 places for Luna Flusha. She is driving through that field at quite a rate of knots. Drummond just looking over there at his mechanic to give him the signals, probably saying You know, you've got a big gap, just keep going. There the stats for Luna Flusha and Kenzo Craigie as they go through. You can see 18 gained for Luna, 10 gained for Craigie. The Prema drivers not having the best qualifyings, but certainly making up for it in these qualifying heats. As down the inside, there goes Kenzo Craigie on the number 4 machine, and that's another position gain now, this time on Toby Gale, and up into 8th place. Yeah,
Craigie really trying to weave through the traffic here. Like you said, Anthony has just overtaken Gale. The next driver on his mind is Marco Gast. Going back to Luna Flusha then, the driver, Spanish driver who's with the Mercedes camp, as is Kenzo Craigie there, who's still on your screen, did not have that qualifying. Made up a number of positions yesterday in the heats, but then having to wrestle your way through that much traffic also puts into play the risk of catching your nose cone when you're trying to overtake. And she did just that. I managed about 15, 16 positions in one of the heats, but then got a 5-second penalty, which dropped her further back down in the field, which was a shame to see. Dying stages of this race then, all these drivers still giving it everything they've got. There's Luna, who we were just mentioning, P15 currently. It's Victor Gustafsson that she's looking at, and it's Victor Gustafsson that she overtakes. Can she manage to stay in front? Did run slightly wide, but she pulls it off, stays ahead of that CRG driver.
Yeah, Victor Gustafsson still on a position gain of 2 here, but down in 15th place is not where the former world champion in both divisions has found himself, and we'll keep a close eye on that one. Here we go, bit of side-by-side action on the start-finish straight. We always like to see it. Arana Lopez down the inside of Toby Gale and gets that move done down in towards turn number 1. Lopez now up 1 position in this race and has broken inside that top 10. Still we watch here the sharp Van der Kerkhoff battle. And Matthias Van der Kerkhoff on an 8th place gain as Kenzo Craigie, well, seemingly every time we cut back to him, finds a new target. This time it's Marco Gast. Immediately communicates saying, right, let's go, let's push. And Kenzo Craigie now really on the charge here. Up 12 places into P7.
You know, of course, Kenzo would have wanted to just kind of qualify at the front and stay at the front. I'd actually say he's probably quite proud of some of the places gained within this racing so far, because in every single heat, he's made up a number of positions. Drivers then trying to make up positions in the intermediate classification is Thibaut Ramekers. Started on your front row, it was P2, he was alongside Davide Bassaro, but it looks like if he gets the remainder of the sectors and corners correct, would end up with that P1 spot. Will add to his tally of wins. Did get a win on the board for himself and VDK yesterday in the heat. DNF also. There's only a couple of more corners for Thibaut to tick off the list. Turn number 14, there he goes. We'll climb the hill. We'll see that checkered flag. Thibaut Ramekers is your next senior qualifying heat winner. Job well done. The job well done also for Zach Drummond, who continues on a really strong, really powerful charge. He rounds out your top 2, and then it's Davide Bassaro, the CR3 in P3. Zach Green had a good one, as did Matthias Van der Kerkhoff, who rounds out your top 5. VDK then, team that last time we were here in 2018 for a World Championship, did take a win under their belts in junior category. Obviously a team that know this circuit really well, and a driver that knows how to race really well.
Indeed, and they have pushed that young man from Belgium a long way into his racing career. Here we go then, here's a look at your full lineup then after that race. Drummond in finishing in 2nd place behind Ramekers with Davide Bassaro, Zach Green, Van der Kerkhoff from Craigie, Sharp, Gast, Lopez and Gale round out the top 10 ahead of Augustine Sepulveda, Roman Kamyab, Kade Fairhand and Luna Flusha on a 19-place gain is the biggest mover out there in P14. Victor Gustafsson and Hugo Marti, Casper Rydpol from Lilian Scarborough, Sebastian Mins from Inurostad round out the top 20 from Garcia, Sonia B, Pacorni from Bulbarella, Nugarade from Shilkaneta,